To our love shack. It's all dry. I think it looks pretty awesome. We need to paint the metal. And I think I'll definitely paint it, get it all 100% painted tonight. Okay, so I popped the magnet strip off the bottom, and there's just beard hair on everything. But last Christmas, I got a baggie of these little guys, and I had no idea what they were. The person who got them had no idea what they were. So what they are, though, they are, I don't know, maybe they're supposed to be like throwies, but they don't have the sticky part on them. Not quite sure. And I've just been sitting on the bag because I didn't know what to do with them. And I actually, I like playing around with LEDs, but I don't usually like incorporate them into the tabletop stuff because I think it like turns into like super toyish. But this objective marker is just so ridiculous already. I was playing around with it, and if I set this up, let me turn this off. Like, you thought it was an abandoned love shack. No, this love shack is in use, and the rave is ongoing. So I think this really just makes it look awesome. I'm going to, put a little bit more effort into it instead of just like throwing it in there. But this is definitely happening. So let me lower you down a little bit, and you can get a head on, get the full effect. Yeah, like this. I think this is perfect, and I'm so glad I thought about this and remembered that I had these things. So I think it's also cool that it's not like a constant. It's not just like a constant blinking. Like, it changes up the speed. So this is going down for sure. Okay, we're gonna start off with a Cultist Cloak. I haven't used this before, and I kind of just want to see what we get out of it. Now I'm doing this pipe first just because it looks rubbery. And I'm gonna mix in some Broadsword Silver to see if that kind of gives us that metally effect. So I just want to hit the stuff that's not definitely going to be metallic. And there's a whole lot on the brush. Let's just come in hot, see where we're at. And I think I might get my airbrush out to blue that like kind of heat vent thing. I'm not really sure what it is. Like, is this steam powered? Like, what makes this thing go, you know? All right, back to that's Mithril Silver, Rust Streaks, Molotow Liquid Chrome. All right, so now we're just gonna hit these like hard edges up here. And like here. Definitely wanna hit all of these. And I'm gonna hit all of these, of the rivets with this, and then I'm gonna go back and only hit some of them with the liquid chrome. And that'll really add to it. Then on this part, I'm just kind of like wet dry brushing it. And again, just in case it's seen, but I'm really just not that too worried about it. And then we'll hit this top part. Same kind of thing. Like, we're really, at this point, we're just kind of adding in those metal flakes back into it. And then same thing. Hopefully I'm in frame. So I'm just gonna add these We're kind of like wet dry brushing it, I guess. I'm not really sure what I would call this. We're just like scratching the top of it, really. And that way, hopefully it comes through the light. You can kind of see like it's creating that contrast. We're only the top part of this, and we'll hit the full edge here. And we'll hit the full, just scraping the top of that there. But again, we don't want any on the underside of it. Hit the edge. And we're just trying to like create the illusion that that's metal from the different angles with metal with contrast. And we'll hit the top of this thing that's coming out of the ground. And I guess if that's coming out of the ground, it'd probably be gas, which I just thought of. So again, hitting the tops, gonna hit this part. And now there's very little pigment, so I'm just kind of dry brushing all of this side and being lazy with it. All right, so now this part I don't want to be lazy with. So very carefully trying to like look at this brush that I am. Hopefully it's in focus. I can't see. Look at this brush I'm trying to edge highlight with. Hit these. Definitely want to hit this little knocker. And right here. And again, just catching the tops. All right, boom. Here we go. 2 nights of like 15-minute sessions each gets us to this point. If I wasn't so rushed on the wood, I think the wood looks pretty good, but you could definitely get a better result on the wood if you weren't rushed and let each layer dry in between. But I kind of like the effect that we got. So do I want to dry brush this? Like the wood, I mean? Oh man, I think I do. I think I do want to do it. I think I want to hit this a little bit more on the edge. Just establish more color. All right, so what we got is, can you see it? So one, you have to be careful using this because it's almost like so metallic that if you're not careful with it, it breaks immersion. Because you just all of a sudden have like a real, like it takes you just kind of like back to having a metal model almost. So again, I'm just gonna very sparingly, like the door rivets I'll use it on. And like, not a full edge highlight, but just kind of like parts of that door and like maybe some scratches on the bottom here. Oh, almost dropped it. Definitely don't do that. And just like work this into the knocker a little bit more. And then I put way too much on the palette, but like I'm only gonna hit the tops of these, or the top ones. And again, like that one I'm actually not gonna hit because it's gonna be in shadow. And I'm just putting a little bit of scratches in here. You know, because why not? Even though it's not going to be seen, just in case. And then same thing on this tin inside. And then that's how you get the effect. And then I'm just coming in and using this raggedy brush to do scratches through there. To get our contrast. And then maybe even a little bit there. And a little bit here. And again, there's not very much pigment on this brush right now, but I'll do it on the top half of that. And boom, this thing, hopefully it comes through on the camera. Like at tabletop level, this thing looks like it has somebody built a little miniature outhouse on the tabletop. And I grabbed this rust streaks out. I'm not gonna rust it just because like old iron like it oxidizes and it just gets like kind of darker. I mean, it'll rust for sure. It'll rust, but just not. This one's not going to be rusted. But what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to use this rust here to paint my base. Because this is effectively a wet pigment powder. And I'll even go inside the house a bit. And so I'm painting my base with this, and I'm going to hit it with a heat gun. And I'll even like take this up a little bit. I said I wasn't going to rust it, and here I go rusting it. Because again, we're just trying to give like the illusion. And it's okay to go up the side of the house. That's just going to bring it in. All right, so the heat gun's going to evaporate the enamel out of this. But boom, if you don't want to add snow to it, the Love Shack is done. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.